Good day and welcome to Business Chronicles. My name is Solomon Tumwesigye. I'm one of your hosts for Business Chronicles here at Studio 84. Studio 84 is a podcast studio located along Lithuli Avenue in Bugolobi, Kampala, Uganda, and it is a space set up to facilitate and, individuals and organizations tell their stories and along the way position themselves as authorities at what they do. If you have not subscribed to Studio 84, please hit the subscribe button down there and hit the bell to get notifications and be the first to know whenever an episode is out. This is how it works at Studio 84. Typically, we welcome people who feel they have stories to tell to come and do studio hire, basically rent an hour. There's an hourly rate, there's a season rate. That's a conversation we get to have. If you go in the description below, you'll find a number you can reach out to so that we can have this and even guide you to setting up your channels, to setting up your podcast channels and guide you on how you can post this, so we can even facilitate the whole posting. Let's get into it. Today, I'm honored and privileged to host a young lady. She's probably side-eyeing me calling her young, but we'll see. She is a master in various fields. I was just having one at her before the episode started that where exactly do you fall? Are you a business administrator? Are you an events person? Are you a stay-home mother? I mean, she even has a business name that has a story to it. Diana, like most of all of my guests, please introduce yourself to the viewers and tell us what you do.
My name is Diana Rose Tegule.
Yes.
My name is Diana Rose Tegule, and many call me the queen of fixing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a mother of two. Been around, and I'm a mother of two. I am an events manager.
Yeah.
And I love what I am doing now, even with all the background of media, marketing, so many. Like, I have
Many
so many
things.
things. Yes. Others find me like a salesperson,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. But that's life. You get to learn everything because it's like a circle.
Yes.
So you put together everything, and at the end of the day, there's something that motivates you, helps you grow to, and helps you, like, you wake up in the morning to eat, even with its challenges. But yeah, so right now it's events management. It's what I enjoy doing.
Thank you,
And
Diana.
that brings bread to my house, brown bread, call it.
Diana is from Jezo Concepts and Services.
Yes.
I always have a keen interest in knowing what the thought process to go get a business name, so to say. What's Jezo? Does it have something to do with Jesus? Because I know you're a Christian as well.
It has the Holy Spirit in there, but Jezo is Jeremiah and Zoe.
And Zoe.
Yes.
Those are your children.
Those are my children. And the fact that Jeremiah was a prophet, it has to come. It would have been
Yes.
the Z, and then,
Yeah.
but, and then Zoe, Light of God. So it was just perfect, and just to have those two names together.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that these ninjas are going to grow, they're already my business partners.
Wow.
They know what mommy does on a daily. I remember there's a time when someone was asking my son, when you grow up, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be an events manager. They said, a stroke, a lawyer. So they're like, you can't be both. He's like, but my mom does many things. I think I can be, after work, the law, he calls it corporate law. I can still go and do corporate events. So I'm like, really? Then he says, yeah. But now because every time they're in holiday and they have an event, at least Zoe will come through, and she loves art, so she's always like helping you to arrange the flowers or something. Then Jerry does something for you, so they know. So it was all, you know how we've seen how the Indians involve the kids. There are kids in, the business. From the shop, you're counting the money. From the money, he's managing the cash. And then later on, mommy will sit at the back, and then the parents sit at the back, and then the son is at the front.
Yeah.
So this is what I want for my ninjas, like to be involved, so that with time, we can work as a group, and with time they can take it up. If it will be Jerry to be the team lead, well and good. So he knows as the future grows, as the future goes on, we know, you saw the whole AI. They can get all that technology, those ideas into the company, so that we see how Jezo grows. Yeah. That's why we call it the concepts and the services. So all the concepts, all the ideas, all the uniqueness, they can bring it in, because I know at some point I'll reach there when I can't, you don't know what is the latest. Like right now, if I asked my mom what is the latest design, she can give it to me.
Even if she used to be on top of things then, that times just don't allow you to.
Like my judge was Miss Uganda, so
Oh.
so right now, yeah.
I see where it comes from.
So right now you can be, she will look at all this, like, but what is that? You get, yeah? Because that was then, they used to wear something different.
What's
And
your
right
judge's
now,
name?
my judge is called Matchlet. I'll show you a picture where she's with a sash, and
We need to
still
see
call her,
Immaculate right about
we still call her Miss Uganda. It's very hard to call her like Jaja. What we call her Jaja.
What
Miss
year
Uganda.
was that? Do you remember? In the 60s, 70s, maybe?
I don't know, but I'll get you a picture.
Okay, all right. So, Diana, I feel like you really set up your children already to take up and continue the business much later in life. I mean, nothing shouts involvement in a business like having your own names as part of the business name.
Yeah.
Was it intentional? Was that your thought process, or you are just or were you high on motherhood? You love your children so much, you want them to be in your business name.
No, it was. I thought it took me some time.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to find a way how I can get them involved.
Yeah.
And then, look through, because both of them have like two names. The other one is Zoe Kiara. This one is Jeremiah Williams. So I was like, how do we get that together? Should I put my name? Because I tried with mine, then I'm like, she wasn't giving.
It wasn't.
Like my daughter does, because it doesn't give.
It wasn't giving.
It wasn't giving. So I tried. Then later on, like somehow, and you're like, wait, I can do 2 letters, and it sounded good, like, because you now find people calling me, they don't even call me my name, Diana. They say Jezo, and I have to respond to that. They call you Jezo. It's like, it's not my name. I'm like, okay,
I know. Yeah.
Jezo, yeah.
Especially in that business space where we met.
Thank you. They call me Jezo.
And I want to ask you how you end up in events. Because I know you didn't study events management at the university or whatever it is. What's your background?
I did business administration, and joining media, we got to this stage. Okay, I had a very, I call her my mentor. She pushed me to, not in a way that she wanted me to grow. Up to now, like, she put me in spaces where you were involved, because she kept on, up to now, I still remember when she told me, Diana, when I fail, you fail. So this office is yours.
Yeah.
By that time, she was our CEO. And then you're running, because me and you, when you're working with this person who's your supervisor, you report to her, very well, it's just like the way most of the organizations are, you're like a secretary. But when she came in, she changed everything to, you're my executive assistant. So at first, let's say give it 3 months, you just feel like, you are the secretary, what, PA, things like that. And she told me, let me remind you of your title.
You need to own this thing.
Own it. You're an executive. So I was involved in so many. You're in production, you're in finance, you need to learn, you're in accounts, you're in the newsroom. And with that, getting to know things together. So you would put things together. So that things, when she gave me the title, when she introduced the CSR, letters used to come to my desk. So you read through, see them, and then she's like, what do you think? You don't have to read and put it on her desk. She's like, what do you think? What's your thought? So it got me to the part where I need to learn. I need to learn more. She was like, involve yourself. So I needed to learn.
Was this straight from university?
No.
Okay.
This is when I was working.
Okay.
One of media companies.
You study business administration.
Yes.
Your first job is working in a media house.
No, my first job was working in a restaurant.
In
a restaurant that was our famous Nando's. So I don't know who Nando's was everything. So
were you in the chicken in the pizza
I did everything, my friend. We did pizza. We finished with one of my friends called Tina. She's now in Germany.
Tuesdays.
Yeah. Then we did the chicken. Then we did the pizza. Then the bakery, and with that, I met the late cousin. The wife would bring the kids on Sunday and leave me there. So that's why I met like so many people that sometimes people think I'm still a celebrity. I got so many friends. They like so baby cool and all those. Yeah. So I knew how, you know when they come around, how to handle them. I think it's just something that in me, like, you give someone the VIP they want. So instead of coming to the counter and asking for, can I get this? Because they want that whole treat me well.
Treatment, yes.
Yeah. You go to them and then we would enjoy because that comes with a tip.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And then moved to Simba Telecom. Then from Simba, I moved to the media, NTV.
Wow. So this favorite boss of yours is your boss at NTV at that time.
Yes.
So how do you then transition to event management?
So there's a stage at NTV where they had to introduce Spark.
Yes.
And we did a lot that it needed planning. There was a lot of planning that used to happen night. And I think when someone says, I'm going to open up, I want to open up a TV, I look at them and I think, you don't have to just wake up in the morning, because I remember budgets, coming up with the programs, lineup, because there was a whole, there was a lot to look at, because she crafted the thing from scratch. This is something that we didn't have in the market. Even how to get the right clients. Remember, we already had the likes of Bouquet Day, but she came, we sat down, and there was a team that was behind there, but I was working direct with her, because I remember the next one, she would sit in her office, because for her, I think she had, her head has sections that afternoon, I think from 4:00, she starts, I think that's when another day of hers starts. She pushes until late. Then she'll go home. Then again, early morning after her gym, then she would push. So she had a time where she would just be nothing on her computer, but she's just walking around. So I learned a lot from her. So from her is when I got to know that, you can look out for courses. Because I remember my first course, I walked to her and I told her, there's something here that has ABCD. And she was like, oh, do you want to go for it? That was the first course, it was a master class, I think, in executive assistant, but there was also events management, everything. So she's like, okay, if you think you're going to learn something and when you come back, this office will be different, then prepare for it.
So I gather you ended up in GESO, concepts and event management and all that stuff from the experience you had as an executive assistant.
Yes.
So you realized, by the way, I'm managing events already, so why not, get down to it and do it well?
Yeah, because you see the whole planning, because here you have, it's not different, because you see it's an event and here you have an office. You start someone's day, how she's going to start, because it used to be your to-do list, her to-do list. You understand what she has for the day, what she has for the week, who are we putting in? So you organize, you just don't throw in meetings. You know when she's having the right meal. It was all broad, because I wasn't just her in looking at her office, because also I had my desk to look at. Then when I go for this training, I got to understand that you need to be an all-rounder. And they were giving us things to learn, like even it doesn't stop on just that office, but beyond. So that's where the passion of events
Sets
comes
in,
in. Yeah.
yes.
And then I come back, and then you find yourself being called to so many, like today we're having this party done, it has to be there. We're doing this has to be there. And having even Serena close, you'd see all this happening. I think
Yeah.
even the circle of the people that were around me, because I remember her asking, like, are you going to do this for the rest of your life? But then I don't see myself as a good HR.
Managing people.
Yeah, because even at NTV, it was like as if you're like the life of the party.
Yeah.
It's after work, it ends with login, you're going to some shoot, you're doing this. So it was work party like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I found myself, I think, in the right spaces of events.
You actually trigger my mind to think of something. When you think about it, this life of delivering events for clients is a lot close to what you are doing as an executive assistant, because you are literally executing and looking out for the desires and wishes of your boss in that case, and now your client in this case. But then you didn't stop there. You went and did some courses in that line.
Yes.
Why did you feel you needed to do courses in that line?
I think that's the time when I discovered where.
Because you had all the experience.
Yes. That's when, like when you have the right people around you, because they help you figure out that, because there's you being in an area, but you're just doing it for money.
Yes.
But now this was the passion, the money, and I don't have to come back at the end of the day and you're asking yourself, what am I doing? Yeah. But even when the day doesn't go well, you're still happy. You're like, yeah, I delivered. And you push yourself to do better. Next time you learn from it every day. So me, from events, I learn from my events every day. Every day there's something to take home. Yeah. So that it's not that you're going to do the next event better, but there's something that you're going to add on. And every event is different.
Every event is different.
It's unique in its own way, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's a burial,
A product
launch.
whatever
It's
it is.
different. It's different.
Diana, shock me at this point. Please shock me. What's like that one memorable, nice or memorable, not nice event that you have worked, or scenario or client? No names, please. I'm not interested in the names. In other words, what has your experience been like in this life? Do you have one of those scenarios that really stand out?
Yeah, there's one. Early morning at 4:30.
Yeah.
And you are happy because this is a VVIP event.
It is the day the Lord
God
has.
has made. You're like, good morning, Mugole, And then you're like, this is the day the Lord has made. How are you?
And they look at you like,
Yeah. And you're like,
how did you react?
I thought she didn't hear me well, because I was like, maybe my voice.
I feel like the worst thing you can do is try it again.
Then I said, good morning. That time I just said, good morning.
Calmly.
Yeah. But I looked, in that room were 3 people. Me,
You,
her,
her.
and the matron. And nothing. So only the matron responded. And I said, okay.
This is going to be an interesting day.
I first went back outside. And
Hold on. Were you late?
No. I was very early.
Okay, let's see how this day goes.
So I was like, wow. I went out and I was like, you know what? Let me check on the guys. They were up and I came back. I looked at them and I was like, this side, it was all happening. They're like, oh, you're early and everything. I'm like, guys, wake up. Eh? They're like, okay, fine. Because they're all staying on the same hotel. So it's just the layers. And then I came back and I looked at her and she was just seated in the dressing mirror. Showered, yeah, already. So I said, you know what? I called the matron out and I checked. I told her, is everything okay? She said, yeah, let's just proceed with life. I was like, okay, for now. Let me just make sure everything is in place.
Yeah.
Makeup, blah, 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 and everything. And then trained. And we go to church, of course, in Namirembe. And something happened on her dress along the way when she was getting out of church. I thought she would not mention my name. She was like, tell her to come and fix it. So she couldn't stand the rings. I think she stepped on it.
Yeah.
But that was just the dress for just church.
They had given way inside there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had to fix it. The good thing, I told the person who had given us the dress, I told her, actually, she also got a share of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
So
that attitude that day.
So they was dressing her, but when she didn't say anything. So I felt like, wow, I'm not alone. So at least I had someone to talk to. Like, she's like, I don't know what's wrong with her, but we have given her the best dress. We didn't change. I'm like, is that the issue? Like, yes. So I'm like, don't go away. Just wait for until church is done. And when that happened, I told her,
So when that incident happened, the dress person was right
around.
there.
Yes, we just went through the choir, and they fixed it. Actually, we pulled it out, and then she was free to walk out. Yeah. But the guy on the side of that man, they were so happy. But the best man noticed, and he walked me and told me, if I was you, I would be laughing, enjoying, because that one, she's a drama queen. I was like, no, but she should be, today is a different day. She was like, leave that to us. We shall handle. I think along the end of the car, they talked to her, and she had, actually, she even switched her makeup, because when we brought a makeup artist, the one she had booked, she brought another one to also work on her. So the one that we had paid, actually the husband that had paid for, sat there and waited. So we told her, she was like, but you guys paid me, I'm supposed to work on. I'm like, you know what, just work on there. Like, just leave her. She has her own makeup artist. So me, the winner, I don't have luck, but okay, I had to just smile and laugh, because after church, the husband told her, go and wash out
whatever those people did.
Yeah, she was like, who is this guy? So we had to call our chick, come back, fix her. Because they didn't do makeup on her. They gave her a transformation.
She was a different
lady altogether. We're like, wow.
Let's delicately talk about that part. I don't even know whether I should go.
She was different, because I was like, okay.
I was about to say sometimes, but many times, or sometimes, depending on your experience, a person does makeup and they are a totally different human being altogether. One, I don't know whether they don't look in the mirror to see that is not them. Two, I don't know whether they don't have friends there to tell them, oh no, this, you're now a painting.
With ladies, it comes, it's in you. Maybe it's something you've always desired. I want to use an example. Someone has always desired to look like Rema. We have people in the market here who can do a transformation on you.
And make you look like someone else altogether.
Like, let's fix that noise. Let's do this. I have makeup artists that we know them for transforming your face. Yeah. If I get to understand you, client, Dana, that you love, you've always, and now it has happened on your special day. And I'm like, you're sure? Because most of the times we go for, makeup trials and all the things. But you insist, I want this one. And I tell you, this is how it does. And he also says, by the way, if you care, I can do it. Like, no. These are the things I look forward to. Like, okay. When you ask, we deliver. You get the transformation, because you're the client at the end of the day.
So it's a matter of taste.
Yeah. So even maybe that's why she gets her confidence of like, because you've seen people where when she has makeup, you're like, woo, then let her remove. You're like, wait, what happened? You get, maybe that heavy makeup is what you always desired to have. And now here it falls on her special day. But if the man is okay with it, why not?
Diana, I quickly notice that I'm in a minefield right here, so I will leave makeup matters to makeup generals.
Yes.
My friend Serena, this is a good time for you to come. I will not try to fix this. I will not try to comment any further about that.
Because you've seen that people would say, no, I don't be natural like the way Serena leaves people. But then you've like, I want to go to, can you find that person who
Don't say them.
can do this for me? And you're like, why not? Because then there, you're not going to convince Serena to.
So you come to this with experience from the corporate world. Now you're a business owner, you're running your own establishment. What was it like in the other world of being employed, in the typical corporate setting? Now you're running your own thing, you have a family at home. I don't have the blessing of having ever known what it feels like to work in the corporate world. I mean, being in formal employment like all my life. So I have no idea. What was it like to transition? And, like expectations versus experience.
It took me some time. If I was to start, I think I would have started some time back. Because I tried.
Yeah.
My one leg was in, one
leg was out.
I think it took me like, if to be sure, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Because the fear, you're used to the insurance, the sure, like sure deal, there's that much is coming out at the end of the month.
Because I have an insurance
You
story to tell.
you have, like, there's some things, airtime that comes in on a monthly.
I know. Now you're the one who has to give it on a monthly.
And you're like, will I survive? Maybe about the money, like, what, if I get one client, because you've learned the saving, you've learned this. You're like, you look at it, you're like, if I get one client, I can maybe find a way of doing all this. But then the things that, like, if your daughter needs that emergency, like at night, and you don't have cash on you, and then you have to run to the hospital, you're not going to say, let's first wait. And I am the kind who does things for myself. Like, by the time I come to you, Solomon, of like,
yes, I need help.
Really, you really
it has
need
to be so bad.
Because I don't enjoy the whole, it's like writing a love letter. Please, kindly, that it's hard. It's hard because I don't know what you're thinking when you're receiving it.
It's such a risk.
Yeah, because I start putting myself into your position of like, he's going to read. He'll be responding like this. I rather don't. You get, like, it's really hard for me. So I needed to be in a position where I'm sure. But you can never say you have 100 million on you before you start a business.
No.
It
Just
was hard.
start.
Yeah.
My friend Jenny, we talk about your book at this point in almost most episodes. Jennifer Tumkunde wrote a book, Just Start. If you haven't read the book, please find it. Very inside. I mean, she has classic stories on how she started her business.
She's
it's called Just Start.
She's one person that motivated me also to say, let's go.
Yeah.
Let me do it. Because she used to supply us passion fruits then. And I'm like, yeah, how does she survive?
Jenny, your passion fruits follow you up to date.
TV days, And then you meet her after COVID and you're like, wait, from passion to...
Yeah.
Wow. So me, after seeing some people's stories, I'm like, wait, I took long. What is happening to me? But then you're like, people, every time someone tells you, but with all this social capital, with all these, the people, and then the things that you're doing, the things I'm doing now is like, you ask me, then where can I get an artist? Yeah. Who can I get to give me maybe this kind of decor? Like things around what I'm doing now. And then until the question posed and they're like, so how long are you going to be a fixer? You're giving people plugs, but you're not doing it for a living. I remember when I think it was Patrick Idring and Bebe Cool, they told me, so you plug people. Actually, even Alex Manji, you plug people on all this. So do you earn? Then I'm like, no, but me, I cannot. Like, wake up. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about it, but I didn't know how do you
monetize this service.
Yes. But I think when you get, I think, how do they say it in Uganda? Kutambula kulaba, that kind of thing. It's until when I left and I met other people and they were doing, they're like, we charge for this. And I was like, whoa, okay. Now I came back. I'm like, now we're going to do this.
Then I'm going to take you back. Lastly, on your experience transitioning to business and all that, you have a family, you
Yes.
have a man at home. Did he approve of all this? What do you have to say about the importance of having a support system, especially being a mother? And I know your children were a lot younger then, and having someone to take care of at home or live with. How is that dynamic?
When I was in this whole, because he's one, I would say, what a number one fan of who always encouraged me to start.
Yeah.
But I had the fear because for me it was like, then what happens tomorrow? He's like, why are you thinking about tomorrow? Think about now. Like this will work because you love what you do.
Yeah.
You have done it. You can still do it. So I was like, but how do I, you enter the market, there's so many people. He's like, but people will always be there. The market,
They'll always be there.
yeah, the market is big. So I needed someone that I can, and like when in case things are tight, like you can go back and whine, like and say, but, all the things. But he encouraged me. I think before he said now fully, I'm in fully. It took me. I think even he put dates for me because at the time when he told me, okay, now by March you should be ready. Then he said, okay, by March. Then reached March and I was like, so are you ready? But what I needed to just say, you know what, I am done from this office now to this office. Like now we're going to do this. Now I'm ready. Because I remember him encouraging me, get all the paper, get everything ready.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was scared because he had, where he shows you, there's some events, because I remember one of the highlights with the events he kept on reminding me was when I did the Pastor Senyonga's son's wedding, and he was like, you did it. It was live. You remember everything. So you want to tell me you can't do others, like when you're in fully? And maybe if you step away and people get to know that this is what you do every day, then business will come. And God was really good that when I said I am now ready, of course, things came through. I didn't know. I thought life was going to be like that, or roses, like Diana Rose. Oh my! Until I hear that, yeah.
But do you know that fear is real, Diana? Many times, especially us in the service industry, you're offering this service freely and there's no pressure. But then the fear of monetizing it, putting a price to it, the fear of now that they are paying me, you feel like there's so much pressure on you to deliver, and which pressure wasn't there before, and yet you delivered excellently without pay. It's such a real fear out there. And on the what I also pick is that for you it was a lot of moral support.
Yeah.
And many times when people talk about having a support system, especially your spouse or family or whatever it is, they are looking at it in monetary terms, and many times downplay rather the importance of having moral support, someone to support you and encourage you on and tell you you're doing well and so on. I mean, you can do great things for a long time and no one ever says well done.
Yeah.
That just can suck the spirit out of
you. I say, it's one thing that I thank God for. Like, not every day that you have someone who will encourage you, who would say you're doing good, even when things you begin, because the days when you come back and then you begin from like, when you have this friend. For me, he's my good friend. He's my best friend, and you call and say, this client, then he listens.
We are finished.
Then you go, then you reach home and then still again pour everything. Then he listens and he's like, So at times you just need someone who is on your side, even when you're wrong.
Yes, even when you're wrong.
Then later on, we shall
align you.
He's like, So he encourages you. And then my brother, Isaac, he's that consultant that you have. If you want black, he'll give you black. If it is white. So if I want a hard talk, I'll go. I need to prepare myself very well. Because even him, so I had these two men in my life that I have to go to. So I was done with this one at home and he encouraged me, like, but you can Then I told him, I have a meeting with this, and he's like, yeah, you go. Because he knows very well. He's not going to
Yes.
beat around the bush. He's
He
like,
knows
"Madonna."
what's coming to you, yes.
He told me this is how the market is. He does this, you know very well. You're not going to be a mediocre in that market. You're going to do this. If you're doing it, do it. Stop being you're this side and then this side. And I know you can do it. So you just have to create your own style and go for it. No going back.
No.
And then I remember that $1. Do I sell? And I'm like, okay. He's like, think through it, but when you're ready, get out. Then I'm saying, I was ready. I told him I'm ready. He said, no, you don't have to answer me now. It is you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now let me sit down, write, your prospects and everything. He said, and not like when you write down everything, things are going to go like the way they are, but you'll always find your space in the market and people will appreciate you for what you do. And here we are. I always run back to those special friends of mine to when things are tight.
Wow. Very lastly, Diana, is there anything when you're coming here that you thought you would share that we probably have not touched on? Maybe you want to send greetings to someone.
Wow. That would be for later. But what I want to say, like one thing I've learned, I don't know, should I call it growing up?
Yeah.
That I know some people might be surprised about this because they think some people assume they know me so much. The things that when you start your day, people do. There's a friend who is in the events world still, who told me events has the Red Sea and the Blue Sea. He's a very fun friend of mine that he says it as it is. And he says, then you need to choose your area very well, like where you want to be.
Yeah.
Either the red, but I chose the Blue Sea, the Blue Sea, because the Red Sea is really dramatic and everything. Yeah. And I've learned that every day you start your day and you submit to God and say, you know what, this event. Because I think for me, it's like a try and error. The days where I have not that I've refused to involve God in it, but where you just be like,
when you've been reluctant.
Let's just do. And things happen and you're like, oh
maybe
my
been too
goodness.
busy to
think
about it.
Yeah. But then when you're very intentional and you're like, God, because me, I've seen it where I'm like, God, help me. This event, please. Like you are at the front of everything. Like we are going to do this together. Even the client will delay. When you are, things are not like maybe some service provider is trying to be funny and everything, things will go well and this client will call you out. Like a wedding that I did last year, there's a time where I felt like things were not moving. But when he called me out, I didn't know I can, those tears. And I was like, what is happening? Because everything just worked out and I saw God fix everything in the right place. So I have learned before I drive Micah out, I speak to him. Like, it's not that I have to go through it deep. Like, I mean,
like a whole long reach or something.
Yeah, like
even just under your breath.
Yeah, the same way you see how a kid will say, like, Mommy, I need an apple when you enter the supermarket, and then you know how much money you have, or they give you that list, or your help at home gives you that list of like twagala, nation. They don't know whether you have money or not. So I also tell God, like, God, here, this is what, please. And yeah, today. So I have learned that I'm not the old fixer that Dana used to be. He's the fixer. Even when the client has not paid everything, I know everything is going to go well. And for me, good for my events. Like, that's why I think even the whole Jezo concept, because of the Christian names my kids have, God has to be involved in everything. Yeah. Either it's down or low, it's good for me. For Jezo concepts, it's good, and he has been there for me.
Wow, Dan. Thank you.
This year was very intentional. I'm like, God, I need prime clients, prime events. So even when, after some masterclass that I did in December, there is one of the Nigerian guys, has been doing some tourism event here. He said, you can even do just 3 events a year. And you call it. Yeah. So I was like, who am I? So I think Dana can only do. And they're coming, actually.
They're coming.
So, Solomon, we need to eat money this August.
Thank you so much, Diana. What a great way to close it. Viewers and listeners, you cannot undermine or downplay the importance of submitting whatever assignment you have up against you or have up ahead of you in the hands of God. I don't know what your definition of God is or what you believe in, but everyone believes in some higher power, and that is their God. But thank you, Diana, for coming and honoring us with your presence at Business Chronicles. We look forward to having you on the next episode. I hope you enjoyed your time.
I enjoyed my time. Thank you so much. I've been humbled because, it's been long since I last did this, but yeah.
Okay, you will give me your reviews of the Studio 84 after this.
Definitely.
Viewers and listeners, my name is Solomon Tumwesigye. Please hit the subscribe button, knock that bell to be the first one to know when the next episode is. Until the next episode, I'll catch you on that one. Thank you.